the hell did he mean by that? And the turn to the river, if you know what I mean. Just ride with it at this point, if you know what I mean. After that, are you even sure that I can? You already have, if you know what I mean. So, who gets all the chips, if you know what I mean? Looks like I did, if you know what I mean. Wow, look who joined the party, if you know what I mean. Time for a redo anyways, if you know what I mean. What the fresh hell? What? Look who broke the space-time continuum. Bravo, good sir. Oh, bravo. Sit, take the open seat, join the game, and we can explain. Well, this seems strange. But alrighty then. So, some ground rules. You can't touch any of us, just trust me on that one. And second, whatever happens, just keep playing poker. It's easiest that way. On 4, this is 3, 2, and you're 1. Now then, let's get started. You fucked up. But in a good way, if you know what I mean. Please don't push that button, if you know what I mean. What the hell are you guys talking about? What are we all ornamented with, if you know what I mean? That crazy bitch's amulet. Cost me fucking $50. We get it. Shake the shit out of your head already, if you know what I mean. How the hell did he finish your sentence? It ain't too hard to know a fool's thoughts, if you know what I mean. And why the fuck are you all ending our sentences with if you know what I mean? You'll know what we mean, if you know what I mean. This don't make 2 licks of sense. Only bought the damn amulet because the hag said I'd learn more about myself or some shit. How does any apply to what you said? Bud, who better to talk you out your hole than you, if I know what you mean, what you do. Alright, turn deal. Pass in your hands or we start again. But what the hell does that mean for me, or us, or whatever? Well, we broke time. And when you break time, you also break space. Is that why there's a whole backpack behind you that wasn't there before? Oh man, I'm so happy this ain't my fault anymore, if you know what I mean. You ain't quite out of the woods yet, if you know what I mean. Look, I'll put it as simply as I can, having already been through the ship twice. As long as you don't ever mention or notice the changing background, we stay in the room. Otherwise, space basically says, fuck you, if you know what I mean. So what do I do now? What's outside of me? Play the game. Also, I bet high about you, which I am, if you know what I mean. So what problems have y'all worked through in this time? Step 1's your gigantic ego, hence the situation, if you know what I mean. But it's just me here. Yeah, we know that, but you don't say it out loud, you fucking idiot. Fine, I get it. I bet I'll in. That's more like it. Get in the game, if you know what I mean. Yes! It's 2 pair for me. The rest of us all got jack shit, if you know what I mean. Well, at least these chips are all mine at the end of the day, if you know what I mean. Why the shit would you take my winnings? So I can play some cards, you dumbass. Anyways, back to the motion at hand. Now you know not to fuck with strange magical ladies selling cursed items, don't you? I guess so, but that doesn't solve what you guys have been talking about, or my actual problems and shit. Does it? That's what we're fucking getting to, alright? Step 1's the ego. It's good, but that pride is really something else. Just don't go out showcasing it anymore. Second one to figure it out is the compassionate asshole syndrome. I mean, being blunt about shit is cool and all, because it's straightforward, but sometimes people need to reach around, if you know what I mean. And finally is your music tastes. Never change that shit, man. Is that all? Nah. The next one actually kind of explains why we've been moving so much, or even at all. Stop worrying about your perception. Shit changes. Usually it's for the better. That reminds me, why have we been using bottle caps instead of actual chips as currency? Because you're a mad drinker, dude. That is a needed problem, if you know what I mean. Yeah, but that ain't constructive. Do you know what is? What? chilling the fuck out, playing some poker, and forgetting about your problems long enough to tell a good story. If you know what I mean. That wasn't even a pun. Wasn't meant to be. Well, I feel like if I told a story, it'd just be one we already know. That is literally exactly how this works. Well, I guess in that case, I am completely unsure of where to go from here. If you know what I mean. We're all kinda in that situation. You really lost your drive once you solved all your problems, if you know what I mean. In that case, what about starting some problems so that we can move on? Look, if you really want to do this, I highly suggest you start small. It's hard to create after all. Especially when a problem is what you want to create. Realistically, it's all smooth sailing until you find a hole in your boat, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I think I do. Do what I can until it all falls apart, basically. Good. Now, even though we've definitely all heard it before, even told it, you got a story to tell us? I guess a classical Dungeons & Dragons story, then. We all played enough to know where this tale might go, if you know what I mean. Alright, then. We begin in the town of Jayus. At the local tavern, 4 adventurers come together under horrifically disturbing circumstances. One rogue who wants to avenge his family, one robot who wants to instill justice on all the land, one dwarf who just wants to make his axe better, and a single human who wants to fuck everybody that she possibly can. Ah, the first tale. Truly a spectacle with a strange ending, if ever there was one. Right. In the tavern, there sits many a people at tables. About 3 or 4 patrons at the bar, and a very shady character in the back. I remember that guy. Our justice-loving robotic friend here goes over to the shady character, and just begins to torment him about his line of work. Immediately, this darkened stranger falls ill and dies of a heart attack, too afraid of the robot who asked just the right questions about his harrowing line of work. That's what you get for making a good roll, if you know what I mean. Meanwhile, the dwarven axe fiend and the roguish bastard head to the bar and order drinks for themselves. Mr. Rogue gets halfway through before falling faint, and the dwarven axe fiend downs his drink, sways left, sways right, and then falls unconscious. Good thing you can hold your drink of choice a little better now, if you know what I mean. During all of these doings, the over-sexual bard heads over to the middle of the bar and tries to rile up the crowd, if you know what I mean. The effect, however, was more viciously rousing rather than sexual, and in effect, the tavern patrons started a mighty tavern brawl. The beginning of the end of the party, if you know what I mean. All drinkers became involved in this fight. This was effective enough that our 2 unconscious fellows at the bar awakened. The rogue immediately tried to light his spilled drink on fire, thereby lighting the entire bar on fire. But in spite of having no matches at all, or a lighter in this ancient time, and with the bar soaking wet, as it was from all the drunken fishermen patrons who came in constantly, this was an utter failure. The dwarf, however, had a much better time reawakening. He stood up as though waking from a nightmare, downed the closest drink to him in an instant, and cracked together the heads of the 2 closest patrons, and joined in the brawl, ready to take down anyone who dared stand in his path. It's just about the opposite of a rude awakening, if you know what I mean. The brawl ensues, and every patron manages to get at least one punch in. Even the lustful human who wants nothing more than to make it out and ensure that she lives to fuck another day. After 5 minutes, the fighting is slowing down enough for everyone to want to head home, but not before running those who disturbed the peaceful tavern out of town. The robot, human, and rogue managed to run away in time, but the drunken dwarf is left behind to deal with all of the repercussions. He is tarred, feathered, and rolled down the hill that leaves the town, and actually manages to catch up with the party this way. The perfect ending. The perfect ending. And thus begins the tale of a broken party who only survived out of pure godly influence. If you know what I mean. Always has been a great tale. Gotta love being a dwarf, if you know what I mean. In that case, what do we do now that that's over? Well, it's been about, or nearly 11 minutes. How does that influence anything? Because now it's time for the slap. That's a pain, if you know what I mean. Don't hurt him. I can still feel it from 22 minutes ago. Then you can put whatever you want into it next time. I don't understand. Simple. I told you not to touch anyone, right? Right. Goodbye then. Got a little time loops, if you know what I mean. What the hell did he mean by that? And the turn to the river, if you know what I mean. Just ride with it at this point, if you know what I mean. After that, are you even sure that I can? You already have, if you know what I mean. Looks like I did, if you know what I mean. Well, look who joined the party, if you know what I mean. Great. Time for a redo anyways, if you know what I mean. What the fresh hell? So realistically, I should have done like a whole lot more planning for actually filming out this video, but currently I've got less than 24 hours to film, edit, and release this entire video. And sure, I spent the entire like semester working on the script, but sure, it's done now, but now I've got one fucking day to do everything. Welcome to the behind the scenes of the shittiest video I've ever released. Yeah. Bye. Alright, I'm walking to my first outside location now. I'm pretty sure I have everything I need in my backpack, but if not, screw it, I'm like 10 minutes away from home. So, I should be fine. I've only got like 10 lines to film, and I'm going to a park to film the other 2 outside. Man, it's nice and overcast today. And then everything else occurs inside. Alright, so I feel like since this is actually official, I have to like explain why my video is so short as compared to an actual sitcom episode. I'm highly inspired by a bunch of like Adult Swim videos. There is a bunch of things called late night programming where basically they take a concept and film it in 11 minutes as opposed to a full sitcom episode which takes like 21. And I felt so inspired by that, I felt like, hey, maybe I can write a video out that does that kind of crap in that little amount of time and actually have a good video out. But it wasn't until I actually started writing that I realized, hey, I could write this concept out, and it would be great. But filming around one solid idea is so, or even writing around one solid idea is so difficult that I just lost my train of thought halfway through. And that's in the script. That's completely in the script. There's no way to describe anything beyond the fact that I wasn't able to like come up with a perfect idea that I could film around and actually be able to film it myself, or do the entire thing myself. Otherwise, I'm doing everything myself. So like what I've done so far and the script that I've written and everything that comes out of this, it's all me, and I'm fine with that. The good thing is, behind the scenes is going to take up like so much of it that it's just completely off the cuff. None of this is scripted, and I love that. In fact, every single one of these is first take, and I don't give a shit anymore, okay? With like not even 24 hours, I've got like 6, maybe 7 hours to finish this video. I think I can pull it off. Just gotta get a good video editing program, and then oh, there's my location. Oh, it's free. We're good. Okay. So, setup is probably going to take up most of what this behind the scenes actually is, or any other part of it behind the scenes, but otherwise, it's mostly just here, and done-ish. Should be able to fill up the rest of the time with all the rest of the things that I'm doing here, so hopefully it's accepted. That's all I can ask for now. Shit, rain. Shit, rain. Oh, it seems like filming outside, the only current problem I'm gonna have is actually rain. So, this is gonna be a bother. But a necessary bother considering the shit that I did by choosing to film it today. At this point, all I can really say is today was a really bad day to film outside. It's been pouring like crazy. I've been waiting it out for about half an hour now underneath this carpet, which is now soaking wet, so I probably can't use it too much. I'm still gonna try and film as much as I can outside because I still have to, but it's definitely gonna be a different location. So, yay! So after moving to a different location and filming there, I think I can definitely get this done within the day. Now I just have to find another location and film 2 more lines outside, and then everything else is inside. Woo! Alright, I'm literally just busy getting the final shots that I need. Mostly it's just like a bunch of the storyline thing, and then I get to begin the hour-long editing process, which it might take me a little bit longer than an hour, I don't know. I only have like an hour and 45 minutes anyways, so let me start. So I know that this project requires a presentation in class. Since I'm not in class, here's my presentation. I'm highly inspired by Adult Swim and such. I've decided to create, rather than a 21-minute sitcom episode and 11-minute video, highly inspired by the late-night programming of Adult Swim, which includes stuff like The Broom Shakalaka, The Book of Jesus, things How to Fall... Joe Pera Talks You to Sleep. Is a bunch of crap, realistically. On top of that, I'm also inspired by the second episode of Louie, created by Louie CK, which is literally just a bunch of them playing poker and having a conversation around a table. It's one of the strangest episodes in sitcom ever, especially since there's no backtrack, which a lot of sitcom nowadays should have, because if it's a joke, it's a joke. You don't need someone telling you that it's a joke, kind of thing. So I'm highly inspired by both of those things, so I decided to create a poker game based around me talking to myself constantly, and it's only 11 minutes long, so everything else is basically presentation. So hope you enjoyed the behind the scenes, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. So it's really late at night. I've been editing for about 3, maybe 4 hours now, and I kind of want to go through my process of how I've actually been doing this. Realistically, I filmed all of it in like succession, so when I have all the lines, I could just edit them together and have parts like this, where it's just blah blah blah. Right, but at this point, if you know what I mean. One line, a little bit. Well, look who joined the party, if you know what I mean. Another line, a little pause. Look who broke the space-time continuum. Overall. And then when I go in like later, I'm just going to have to cut them together and put them in the actual lines together for every single person that I played. This is the easy way to do it if you're playing literally every single actor in the video. So I'm glad it's only taking 3 hours as opposed to like 12, because I don't have much time. This is my final behind the scenes. I've been editing for about 6 hours now. I'd say it's done. I'm gonna add this to the video. Final inspiration that I forgot to talk about was Whose Line Is It Anyway? There's a skit called If You Know What I Mean, which is the basis for really all of this entire video. I'm trying not to make too much noise because my roommate is sleeping over there. So, thank you all very much for watching. I'll probably see you in about 6-ish months for another video. The editing is my only problem. But other than that, thank you for watching. I play every role. The man who slapped me is Zak Hoffman. The man dancing in the street is Aidan Glasnow something. I am also the writer, the director, the editor, and the best boy. Thank you for watching.